Happy New Year, everyone. Welcome to 2021, and if this is your first video, welcome to the channel. Everybody has a first video. This might be somebody's. If it is, first in the comments section down below, because that's how that works, I swear. Let's get down to it, guys. This is the first of the month. As you guys know, the first of every month, we go on a bond selling spree. Now, there's a very good reason that we do that in this game, and that's simply because, well, that's how you upgrade your characters. If you didn't know that, well, you do now. Basically, if you're not familiar with how this works, if we go over here into the character list, you can upgrade your character's levels here, and really level 39 is kind of your goal, because that's kind of where all your levels really, I guess, come to fruition. If you look in here, and if you want to see this for yourself, you can click on CP reward list. Level 2, at level 2, which is like almost instantaneous really, you get 10 agility. Then you'll actually come down here at level 3 and get 5 iris. Level 4 we get 8 dex. This is actually a little bit different for every character. Well, all the way up here, let's go, Haruhime's level 45, but all the way up here to level 39. At level 39, we get 5 MP, at least for this character. It's a little different for every character. And we get, then at level 40, we get Ascension Fallen. From that point on, it's literally just Iris, some books, some more Ascension Fallen, things like that. So the rewards for after level 39 really aren't that important. 39 is the last level that really levels up your character. Now, why am I really going on about this at the beginning of every month? Well, the reason being, if we go back out here to the main page and we go to shop, the start of every month, we have the Seiros Dulb exchange right here, which actually updates. Now, I'll go ahead and wrap myself out. This is like take number 3 of this. So I've actually sold a few of these and bought a few of these. But if we go down here, you'll actually see that in some of these, there are normally 10 of each of these, and I do recommend buying these first. We'll go over that in a moment. But dungeon cakes, dungeon sandwiches, books of nobility, all this kind of stuff actually resets on the first of every month. It goes from, you know, however many you had last month. In my case, it was 0 of everything. It's kind of my goal every month anyway. To 99 of each. Now, how do you buy these? Well, it's very, very simple. Okay? Pay close attention. If you click the little gear icon up here at the top, and you go to inventory, second in from the top up there, and then go to bond here, it's going to give a list of all of the bonds that you have in the game. In my case right now, I mostly have just 2-star bonds, because in the last take, I sold most all of my bonds. Now, if you want to do a mass selling of bonds, you'll see above the bond over there, there's a little button that says sell multiple items. If we click on that, you can actually pick your 2-star bonds, your 3-star bonds, and even your 4-star bonds. Okay? Now, there's 2 settings here. Sell all, which would literally sell every bond I've got, or sell surplus. Now, if I click sell surplus, basically that's going to take however many units I've got. Let's say I've got some units that are, have 3 bonds, some units that have no bonds. However many bonds I need to max out each one of those units, it's going to sell every one in excess. So if I have, a unit that's got 3 bonds in them, it'll save the last 2 bonds that I need to max that unit out, even on the 2 and 3 stars. Why would you want to do that? Well, simply put, because when you upgrade a unit, you actually do get a decent amount of iris from that. So like even 2 stars, as you upgrade those units, you will actually get up to 80 iris per unit that you max out. Now, to be forewarned, this becomes extremely, extremely, extremely expensive. Not only in Valis, also in books and in Falna. So if you're going to take that on to kind of farm some iris, it's a great way to farm some iris, but it's also a great way to go broke in this game. So take your pick. If you guys know me, usually in May I like save everything up, and then right before the anniversary I go ham and just upgrade a bunch of stuff and close out my interacts and all that kind of stuff, so that I actually have some iris for the incoming anniversary. And really, December probably shouldn't be any exception to that, because we get a lot of stuff in December and in like June for the anniversary. Actually, June through August this year, because the anniversary was, well, 3 months long. Neither here nor there. I digress. So I could sell all. And that would actually block out my ability to hit 4 stars, which is kind of nice. Like, actually, it doesn't show you right here that it is, but if I click 4 stars, it'll default back to sell surplus, which is really nice. You cannot accidentally sell a 4-star bond. That's really good because if you're like me, generally you're too broke to upgrade all your 4-star units. So I've got tons and tons and tons of 4 stars that if I sold, I would actually be pretty upset. Not gonna lie. That said, click on bond. I'm gonna just go ahead and sell one of these units right here and kind of show you how this works. I'm just gonna go ahead and sell one manually, and you'll see that as I sell one 2-star, I get 2, and only really 2, Seiros. Now, that actually becomes 10 Seiros with a 3-star bond and 50 Seiros with a 4-star bond. Okay, what are you going to do with all this Seiros? Well, simply put, let's go back into the shop. Let's go to the Seiros and Dulb exchange. And as we go down here to the bottom, I do recommend buying the 3-star and 2-star tickets. The reason being is, remember, each one of those tickets technically has the ability to become a 4-star. Not saying you're going to get 24 stars out of this. What I'm saying is you could actually summon on those tickets, and I actually plan to do that tonight on stream. You could summon all this 10 p.m. Eastern. Tomorrow night on stream. Apologies, it's Friday. Tomorrow night on stream, on Saturday night stream, 10 p.m. Eastern. I'll edit that little mistake out. Probably not. So, you could basically just do 20 summons, and you have the ability to maybe get a 4-star out of it. But either way, if you don't, it's going to feed back into the Seiros and Dulb that you actually spent on these units. It's not a one-for-one exchange, because once again, for what you're selling up there, you're going to get 10 of those, you're going to get something like 100 Dulb, and you spent 500 on your 3-star tickets. I just personally like to do that because I like to have the ability to maybe get some bonds for some 4-stars that I've had laying around for a while. It's not a bad thing. And let's be real, unless you're a Mega Whale, you cannot max every 4-star as it drops. And even most Mega Whales pick and choose what units they're going to max out. So either way, that's a very, very substantial value. Okay? Now, CP items. Dungeon cakes. Dungeon sandwiches. Books of nobility. Books of knowledge. Big bouquets. Single flowers. And Aurario souvenirs. Now, unfortunately, I've already bought all the souvenirs, and I bought all of the dungeon cakes in take 1, but I'll go ahead and show you basically how these work. I'm going to buy one of each real quick. Boom, one dungeon sandwich, just to make sure I've got it. Books of nobility, I already have. Books of knowledge, I'm going to buy 1. Big bouquets, I've got 4, and single flowers, I've got 8, so that's fine. Unfortunately, I'm completely out of souvenirs, but we're going to talk about these and why this is so important. So let's go back over to the character list. Bam. And we're going to go down here at the bottom. I like to go to the bottom and really start with units that are really low level because you want to upgrade these units. Now, as I said earlier, as you upgrade units, you actually do get some pretty sweet rewards. If you have not done this before, or if you maybe haven't paid as much attention to this as you should, you're going to have some units that are maybe like level 4, level 5, especially units that you don't use every day. In my case, a lot of these crossover units, they kind of come into the game, and then they become irrelevant fairly quickly, at least nowadays. Used to be these were good for about a year. Now they kind of lose relevance very fast, sadly. Dear Right Flyer, please fix that for this upcoming collab. We do not want units that kind of disappear. Now, the exception to that, obviously, there are some. Goblin Slayer, Katori, those types of units are still extremely, extremely, extremely good. But more to the point, as you upgrade these low-level units, you're going to get some rewards. Now, we did say earlier the rewards really down here aren't as good. We'll say level 4, level 5. Anything below level 15, the rewards aren't as good, but they're also a lot cheaper to upgrade. Let's look at this Kino. There's actually 2 Kinos in the game, hilariously. But I'll never understand why they did 2 Kinos. I mean, I kind of get it, but I kind of don't. Either way. So to get Kino up to level 19, it would require 1,342 CP items. Now, Kino is going to prefer Aurario souvenirs, and actually I've got a few here. So you'll notice it has that little heart over the Aurario souvenir and it says CP level 200. That actually goes down to CP level 5 for any unit that doesn't prefer it, okay? Now, souvenirs are actually a specific situation, but I'm going to go show you here. Let's go up to Kali, and you'll see here, Arario souvenirs are now CP level 5. Most of the time, it's either CP level 100 or 200, and which goes up to 200 to 400. Basically, the CP levels generally double. Okay, so Kali actually has the little heart over the dungeon sandwich. So she actually wants dungeon sandwiches or dungeon cakes. Basically, dungeon cake is the big item for the dungeon sandwich. If I sell a dungeon sandwich up here, that's going to give her 200 CP. Let's see what she actually needs to upgrade. She needs 1,800 to upgrade. All right. So, as you can see, it gets a little more pricey. If you want a good example of how pricey it gets, let's actually go back up here to Haruhime. She requires 7,100 to upgrade. So, little bit of a cost difference when it comes to your CP items. So use your CP items intelligently, I guess I should say. Now, obviously, my goal is to get everybody up to level 39 at some point. Hestia is level 39. I've got a bunch of units up here that are really close. I don't use Argo as much anymore. Mikasa's been level 36 for like a year now, just because I never use her anymore. But Ryu's level 36. I would really love to get Ryu up to level 39, but that's going to be pricey because, once again, well, that's Haruhime. Ryu would be 5118 to just get up to the next level, and then it gets more and more and more pricey from there. I'm probably looking at like 15,000 CP to get her where I want her. Whereas, if I spent 15,000 CP down here at the bottom, I could probably get 2 units to like level 30. So I like to go down here and really, and you can probably figure this out by now, you can use this to farm Iris. That's a big thing that I like to do at the beginning of every month. I get a big influx of Iris at the beginning of every month because I go upgrade all of my older units. Now, obviously for me, when my lowest regular unit in the game is like level 22 here, it starts to become a lot harder. If your lowest unit is level 10, you're probably going to be farming Iris like crazy. And I would recommend it because we've A, got a bunch of really awesome banners in, B, we're probably about to get a rerun of last year's New Year's banner here in about 2 weeks, give or take. And when you do, you're probably going to want to summon on that. So pay attention, take advantage. Now, that is CP items, okay? Dungeon Sandwiches, Books of Knowledge, and Single Flowers are all 100 CP, and for the units that prefer it, actually doubles then. So like here in the case of Ryu, doubles to 200 CP, okay? Now, Big Bouquets, Dungeon Cakes, and Books of Nobility are all 200 CP, doubling up to 400 CP. So you really want to make sure you're using the item that this unit favors. And once again, it'll show you with that little heart over that what every person in this game favors. Now, if you ever hear us when we're talking about summoning on a banner, grabbing units specifically for CP rewards, a lot of times you'll hear me talk about that during the anniversary, during collabs and things like that. If we actually go out here, I actually have everybody finally. 111. There's 111 unique characters in the game. Okay? Like when Kali, Argana, and Baji's banners came around, I said you wanted one of each at least for the CP rewards. Now, farming each one of those units up to like level 15 will get you a ton of Iris. I've actually farmed back a full multi's worth of Iris in like 5 minutes when we drop a new character, if I've got some CP available. Now, I hear you asking, but what about... Well, you're probably not asking. You have no clue what to ask here. Well, you probably have some questions, but we'll get to those in a moment. So notice that this is Belle here in the main level, and if we go in here, the character lists, they kind of seem color-coded almost. Well, let's change over to eyes on the main screen and go back in here and go to character list. Boom. There we go. Notice our levels are a little bit different. Both Belle, Eyes, and Leafia, there we are, all have different CP levels. And here's the best part about this. They all stack. Notice Haruhime is only level 40 here. But if I go here to reward list, you'll see that now on Leafia's, she gets agility 10 at level 2, which I think it was Dex on another one. So on and so forth. So, this all stacks. Every level that you put in, regardless of whether it's Belle, Eyes, or Leafia, will stack when you use this unit in-game. Have you ever faced somebody in Wargame and said, man, our units are the same level, why is their unit hitting so much harder? They probably have all their CPs maxed out. Just saying. Just throwing that out there. And if you want to kind of see what I'm talking about, let's look at Haruhime specifically. Alright, if we go down to Album, and we go down here to Haruhime's unit, wherever she's at. Alright, easy way to do this. Filter, regular, and Haru. Bam. Alright, so the OG Fire Haru, Kimono Haru, Foxy Princess Haru, as she's technically called. If we max her out, it'll say here. Alright, so pay close attention to these stats. HP is 3440, Strength is 1040, Magic is 1647, and Agility is 838. Okay? Now, 3440, let's pay attention to just 3440, 838, and 1647. If I go back over here, go to the status board, and I pull up my Haruhime, let's just make this easy once again. Bam. Now, my Haruhime is maxed, max ascended, max everything. My stats are way higher. Well, that's simply the CP levels adding up. Now, while the numbers don't look incredibly different, notice my HP is like 300 more. Magic is like 200 more, and my agility is like 150 more. That is enough of a difference that if I go up against somebody whose Haruhime isn't maxed out, my Haruhime will attack first. Everything stacks from CP levels into each unit you're using, so it is very, very important to make sure you get these upgrades done. Very important. Now, I hear you asking, what about free-to-play 4 stars? Very simple, very good question, very good answer. Okay, if we go down here into the shop, and we go to the Event Units Exchange, okay, I actually have all of these 4-star adventures and assists. I have all of these units maxed. So, you can see I'm just chilling here on 211 of these event unit tickets. I really don't need them. I'm not doing anything with them. But, as you can guess, we can use this as a way to farm Seiros at the beginning of every month. So I'm going to go down here. I'm going to grab Chloe because it's some of my favorite art in the entire game. And I'm just going to do one now in case I have to redo this video again. And, for the record, I had 400 of these yesterday. And if I go back over to Bonds, once again, go to the little gear icon up here at the top, go to Inventory, and go to Bond. And I'm going to scroll down to 4 stars, and I'm going to look for Chloe. I think I passed her, actually. Yeah, she would predate. There we are. Holly Wreath Chloe. Now, also, since I already have her maxed, I can go up here to 4 stars and sell surplus, and it'll actually show me that... Yes, sorry. I was like, I don't have a Dulb, but I saw it wrong. So, it'll actually show me that by selling that Chloe Bond, I'm going to go up 50 Seiros. You will not go up in Dulb for free-to-play. Now, I think I actually didn't talk about Dulb. I'm kind of doing things out of order. If I actually go down here to... Let's say... I think this... yeah. Even though she's Seal... I don't want to... Anyway, doesn't matter. Casino Lady... Shakti... I don't want to use somebody that is an actual... all these ailment units. I really don't want to use an ailment unit. Crimson Dahlia... Yeah, so we'll use this one. Okay? The... Crimson Dahlia... Tione. Okay? Now, if I sell her unit... Let's go ahead and max out. I'll actually get 50 Seiros and 10 Dulb. And Dulb is very, very integral to this game. I'm actually not going to sell this because I got to make these decisions wisely. She's actually about to be maxed out. Not that I'll probably ever use her, but I'm not going to sell her at the moment. I actually did a bunch of this in the previous take of this video. But every 4-star unit you sell, I will sell Holly Wreath Chloe here because, once again, she's free to play. Notice she actually doesn't give us Dulb. Dulb being the dark gem here. Dulb is really, 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 really important because you can use Dulb for something really awesome here. Let's go back to the shop, go back to the Seiros and Dulb exchange. So now we've got 90 Seiros, and we can actually go down here and buy a bunch of items. I do recommend trying to max out dungeon sandwiches and dungeon cakes first, then going bouquets, and then going books of knowledge. So many more units use dungeon sandwiches and bouquets than ever use books of knowledge. These are really rare to find on a unit. Sandwiches and bouquets, like, everybody takes, so make sure you max those out first. But if I go back up here to the top, you'll see that I can actually buy a prism bond for an adventure, and for 150 I can actually buy one for an assist, which is pretty awesome. That means that at the beginning of every month, now there's only one for each month, but at the beginning of every month, if I have a unit that only needs like one bond left, and I'm so sick of blowing 4-star tickets that I just want to upgrade that unit, bam, I can actually go in here and buy a prism bond and throw it in that unit. Now, that is for non-time limited units only, but it's a very handy tool. You see here you can actually get a 4-star ticket as well, and you can actually 10 of these a month. Here's my problem with this. The general pool, the pool that we draw 4-star units from, is so incredibly deep now. I don't think this is worth at all. One bit. Do not see it worth. Because literally what you're doing is you're sacrificing 5 4-star units for the possibility of getting another 4-star unit back. I mean, unless you're just really, you spent all your prism bonds, you've bought all your hero lights, because, like, these hero lights are so incredibly worthwhile, too. Notice you can get 5 of these a month here, and you get 3 of them up here. 8 hero lights every month that you can, for exchanging for, admittedly, 6 4-star units. But, I mean, if you do that many summons, you probably already know about this anyway. Irrelevant. I don't recommend the 4-star tickets. I think the 4-star tickets are a really, really, really poor value. That's my opinion. Now, can you farm Dulb? Technically, yes. Technically, yes. So if we go in here to event and we go down here to heroic trials, the bonds you get out of heroic trials are proper 4-star bonds. So a lot of people have asked me, they're like, if I don't have the unit and I come down here, since these are bonds only, what is the value in this? Well, you're farming up 10 Dulb. And we will probably get a few of these this month. So maybe after a month or two of just farming, well, probably 2 to 3 months, honestly, of just farming heroic trials that drop in the game, if you don't need those bonds, you have Dulb enough to actually go buy some hero lights or maybe even get an adventurer prism bond. It actually is worthwhile. This is the only way, unfortunately, to farm Dulb, but it is a way to do it. Just throwing that little knowledge nugget out there at you. Okay, so what I'm going to do here real quick, we actually have our free 11 draw. I'm going to do this real fast, and I'm going to see what we get. We're hoping for a rainbow door. We got a gold door. And my HDMI disconnected. Hold up. Let's go back over here to the game. All right. So we got wealth. We've got 2-star eyes, 2-star bet, 2-star Oka, another 2-star eyes, 3-star. That's fine. That's actually more Seiros. Come on. Well, okay, I'll take that. That's for you. I'll 100% take that. Nah. Doesn't look like we're going to be so lucky here. Nah. Nope. Now, this is one thing I did want to talk about here. I'm going to go ahead and scratch off. Let's see what we get. Did I really? Again? Second day in a row, and I got the Grand Fortune. I know it's a 1 in 4 chance, but that is crazy. I'll take it. I'll take it. So behind all these scratchers is a CP item. All right? Now, Grand Fortune, the one that I just pulled, is worth 2,021 CP. So let's go back over to your character list, and let's say I wanted to upgrade a unit pretty effectively. I'm going to actually heavily consider who I'm going to use it on. Let's just say I'm going to use it on Lena, which actually would be a really good idea considering how often I use her in Record Buster. If I ran out of single flowers and big bouquets, I could come down here and give her Grand Fortune. Now, the Grand Fortune that I've got is worth 2,021 CP. Also, guys, if you farm the Winter Reverie presents, I farmed a few of them, but I didn't farm nearly as many as I wanted to. Those are worth 1,000 CP, but that was the tail that just left. And it's worth noting there's another one in here that I don't have currently because I've spent them all. Meat Fruit. If you have any Meat Fruit, that's for any Xenos unit. You know, Lead, Winnie, Fia, Ray. Any of those units will actually use the Meat Fruit as a CP item as well. And that's 5 CP normally, going up to 500 for a Xenos. But Winter Reveries are always 1,000. Grand Fortune. Now, Grand Fortune is 2021. There's actually 3 items in here. Let's go back over to the news section. All right. And details. So there are 4 different items. There's Growing Fortune, which is 400 CP. Minor Fortune, which is 800 CP. Good Fortune, which is 1,200. And Grand, which every day we've had this, I've pulled it, thank goodness, is 2,021 CP. There's no real honest reason, aside from collection purposes, to hold on to these. I would recommend, if you're doing, and make sure you do your daily gotchas, honestly. I mean, it's gone now, but make sure you come in here and you do your daily gotcha and get that item. It would be foolish not to. They're running it basically today until like Friday of next week. So you got a week, farm these. It's so incredibly worth. Neither here nor there. The whole point is to upgrade your units. So go in here, get your units upgraded. That pretty much is everything you need to know about CP. It refreshes the first of every month. That's why we're covering it today. If you have any questions, put them in the comments section, because my thoughts are a little more fragmented on the 3rd or 4th time of making this video. Which shouldn't be the case, but it is. That said, guys, that's the video. That's the first of the month. Happy New Year to everybody. Like, comment, share. Make sure you subscribe to stay up to date. We'll be back with more Danmachi later today. We got Grand War to talk about. I've got a ton of videos about that coming out over the next 24-48 hours. We've got a lot to talk about in the game currently, and we got Record Buster, which we haven't even talked about yet. So I'll catch you guys on those videos coming up soon-ish.